Hello and welcome to iClass Video Tutorials. We are your hosts, Steve and April Burnett, and this is put on behalf of our crashing company stuff here. Okay. Hello and welcome to iClass Video Tutorials. We are your hosts, Steve and April Burnett, and this video we're going to go over the Settings app. The Settings app is going to look like this here, silver and gray on your iPad and again on your iPhone. So depending on which device you might have, you'll be able to follow along, or maybe you have both as well. So let's go ahead and click on the Settings app. Now on the iPad, first up we have airplane mode, and that goes the same on the iPhone. Airplane mode, once you turn that on, what that does is that will stop all wireless signals, whether it be Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, your cellular data. It'll shut all of those off. Same thing on your phone. Now, it was called airplane mode because before the option of airplane mode, when you would bring your cell phones onto the airplane, they would ask you to turn them off for the purpose of closing down all of your wireless signals. So now you have the option of just turning this on when you board an airplane, and you can leave your device on and not send any wireless signals. So same thing over here on the phone. I'm not going to turn them on now because I will not be able to project my devices on the screen that I'm recording on right now. But I would touch that there, and I would touch this here to turn airplane mode on for blocking all wireless signals. Wi-Fi is right here, and you would use this to connect to any Wi-Fi device. So for myself, I am at home right now, and this is my Wi-Fi modem. Here is my printer. If you have an air printer in your home, you can set up air printing, meaning you could print from your device anywhere in your home without plugging it in. For myself and for our company, that's very convenient. Over here as well on the phone, this is the Wi-Fi, and here's my printer. Now, if you go out and about and say you're at, I don't know, one of my favorite satellite offices, Starbucks, you could hit Wi-Fi and find their signal here and then just click on it and be online. Bluetooth is going to serve a few functions for you. Let's go back on the phone here. Bluetooth. Excuse me. And you'll see here there's a keyboard. You can, what they call pair. Anytime you want to set up a Bluetooth, you need to pair it. And if you pair your keyboard to your iPad, you'll be able to use a keyboard with your iPad. Now you can see I have a few other devices paired up as well. Excuse me. On my phone, this is called a Bose. This is my hands-free device that I use while I'm driving, which allows me to speak without looking or touching my phone. Now you can also set it up so that it's paired with your other devices, whether they be your phones, your iPad touches, or your laptop, which I'm using right now. Another great use for Bluetooth that one of our attendees in our iClass shared was the ability to link it to a hearing aid. Now we're not going to go into that at this point, but just know that that option is available to you. And I thought that that was pretty remarkable. Okay, cellular data. If you have a, well, I'm trying to click on the wrong screen. That's funny. So if you have an iPad with cellular data, it's going to be available right here. My iPad does. I use it for business, for our company, and I drive around and need constant data or the GPS or an email or writing proposals for painting, and to be able to send those in email. So I have cellular data for my iPad, and actually I'm using an iPad mini, and we absolutely are very pleased with those. Over here, you might have the option on your phone and also on my iPad for a personal hotspot. What that does is that turns on your device so that you can send a Wi-Fi signal out. So say you have your iPhone and you want your iPad to have Wi-Fi, you would just turn this on and you would give your iPad Wi-Fi. And then you would be able to go online and surf the internet on your iPad. Now you see my iPad can also, because my iPad has cellular service, my iPad can also serve as a hotspot. So if I have my iPhone or my iPad with me and say I want to get online with my laptop, then I would just turn on the personal hotspot right there, and I would be able to access the internet with my laptop. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I really don't need it on. And we're going to go on to the Do Not Disturb. So Do Not Disturb is a great function. What that's going to do is stop all alerts from chiming through. So if you go into a meeting, you can turn this on and you won't be interrupted, except for those that are in your favorites. And we will go ahead and set those up or turn that on. We're going to go to notifications. Here on your phone, there's notifications. On your iPad, it's the red dot and the black square. And I don't really know why it's on the iPad. It's not really necessary, the Do Not Disturb. But over here on your phone, it's very necessary. So I'm going to hit that. And here's how I have mine set up. I have it on a schedule to come on at 9:30 p.m. and back off at 5 a.m. or from 9:30 to 5 a.m. So from 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. it will not allow any calls, emails, or text messages to ding through or ring through my phone or disturb me in the middle of the night. However, it will allow calls from my favorites. And excuse me, you can actually go into that and change it here. You can, for some reason, allow it from everyone or from no one or your favorites. And so you have family members or close friends who, if they may need to get through to you in the middle of the night due to an emergency, they will be able to do so. Also, you can elect to have repeated calls on. What that will do, as it's stated here, is when enabled, a second call from the same person within 3 minutes will not be silenced. So that's Do Not Disturb. I recommend go ahead and turning that on, setting your times. I also recommend turning your favorites on, and then turning the repeated calls on. Okay. Next, we're going to back out of here again. We're going to go into General on your phone. It's right there. Scroll this up. Okay. On your iPad, General's right here. It looks like your Settings app icon with the gears, gray and silver gears. So let's go ahead and click that, touch that, go in there. And in here, we're going to go into About because we want to turn off an ad tracking feature that's on your device that I don't think should be there. So let's click About. On your iPad, About is the first item. And then from About, we're going to scroll down on your phone to Advertising. See that there? And then on your iPad, see Advertising here. So let's click on Advertising. And again, on your phone, Advertising. Here it says Limit Ad Tracking. You want this on. You want to limit their ad tracking. If you noticed that you've been receiving coupons to all of your favorite stores, this may have something to do with it. Personally, I would like it to say stop ad tracking, but the only option that they're giving us at this point is to limit ad tracking. Same thing over here. So you want this on. The default is off, so if you've never turned it on, it'll say off, but you want it on. I know they kind of make it confusing, and that's not really very cool. Okay, let's go back once we have that on, and we're going to go to our keyboard. So we're going to back up all the way into General. And we're going to scroll down to Keyboard. See Keyboard on your phone and Keyboard on your iPad. Go ahead and hit that. Okay. Now myself, I leave the auto capitalization on, auto correct on. Lord knows I need spell check. Enable caps lock. And the period shortcut. Here's the period shortcut. You'll see it all the same on your iPad as well. The period shortcut, now stay on your screen. I'm just going to jump over and open up a new note. When you're at the end of a sentence, instead of hitting the numbers and then the period and then the space bar, they've made a shortcut for you. As long as this is clicked on, now it takes a few times to get in the habit, but what you want to do is just double tap the space bar. So I'm going to go back, hit the T. I'm at the end of my sentence, and all I'm going to do is double tap the space bar. And there it is. It drops my period in for me, gives me a space, and it sets up your next sentence to be capped. See, the N is already capitalized. That's the period shortcut. So again, if I hit spacebar, double tap, it drops my period, gives me a space, and sets me up for a cap for the new sentence. New. Okay. Now, shortcuts. This is also very handy. Let's go into shortcuts. It's at the bottom of your keyboard. Right here on your phone and right here on your iPad. Now your screen may look different than mine. I have multiple shortcuts on there set up already. And yours should have On My Way right here on the iPad. See this one? OMW, On My Way. Okay, yours should already be set up to have that one. Now on your phone, it may be a little different if you haven't set any of them up. What you want to do is look for the plus symbol right here on your phone, and again in the top right hand corner of your iPad. So we're going to hit that, and the options are going to pop open for you. So what you want to do, and I strongly recommend that you at least use your email address. This is going to save you time when you're logging into some of the websites or apps. And rather than typing out your entire email address, all you'll need to do is enter a shortcut. So mine is Steve at Burnett Painting .com, and then my shortcut, now the one I use is SSS. I use S because it's the first letter of my email address, and my habit is to type my email address. So to help me to set up the habit for myself for using the shortcut, it helped that I just started with S, and as soon as I hit the S, I remember that I have a shortcut, and so then I type in the other 3 S's. And then here's what happens. See this? That's the shortcut that I already have set up. So same thing in my iPad. Steve at BurnettPainting.com. Hit the option S, S, S for shortcut. And you'll see over here as well, it's given me the option to drop in my email address. Now, not to confuse you, that's not what I want to do here. So what I'm going to do is switch back over to my notepad, and I'm going to hit S, 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 and now the option comes available to drop in my shortcut. So I hit the space bar, and it falls in for me. You'll find that once you set up your email address, that's going to save you a ton of time. You can set up other shortcuts. Back out of here and go back on the phone. You can set up other shortcuts like I have here, and they will save you a lot of time. Back into General. Let's go into, let's see here, notifications. Okay, so in notifications, we had Do Not Disturb, but we're going to go down below Do Not Disturb, and these are all of your applications or apps that are on your device. Now, you may have less than I do or more. It's all going to depend on how many you have downloaded. And first up, you'll see that these are in 2 groups. The first group, and then this starts the second group, not a notification center. What they're referring to as notification center is the blind that drops down from the top. You can drop that down. It'll give you the weather and all of the information that's in your notification center. I call it a blind because it kind of comes down like a blind. Same thing on your iPad. To bring your blind down or the notification center, you would just touch your device right here and pull down. So it's kind of like the blind's hiding up here. And you would just pull it down like that. There it is. Okay. So you can choose which ones you want in your notification center and up here, and then which ones you do not need in your notification center when considering all the messages and alerts that are coming through your applications. Now, you can go through and set up each application according to the reminders and alerts that you'd like to see for it. So for myself, I'm going to use Facebook as an example. And if you're on Facebook, we'd be happy to connect with you. So on my iPad, I'm going to scroll down to Facebook as well. And there it is. Go ahead and touch that. So it looks like I have them set up differently on both my devices, and you may want that as well. So here on my phone, for Facebook, I have it on Notification Center. And again, Notification Center is up to the top here. It's that little blind deal that we pull down. And we can get a quick view for the notifications. Doesn't look like I have any for Facebook, so there's nothing in there. But if I had some, it would be available. Alert style. You can have it not flash on your screen. When I say alert, what they mean is the visual that'll flash on your screen. Or you can choose to have the banner. And if you've noticed, there have been a few banner notifications that have been coming through even during this demonstration. They pop up and then they go away. Or you can have the large alert flash on your screen. Depending on how important it is that you are aware of your notifications and whichever application you might be in, maybe it's something involving your family, or maybe it's a financial application, say a certain stock. You can go ahead and set it on the larger visual so that if your phone is just lying there, it'll pop up and you'll be aware that there is a message there for you. Then over here, if you wanted to turn it on in the Notification Center, you would just hit on, and then you can go ahead and select what type of alert. And then Badge App Icon. Right here it says off. I'm going to show you what Badge App Icon is. On my phone it's on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on my iPad as well, but before I do that, I want to show you. Okay, this number here, 37 with the red circle, that's a Badge App Icon. That tells me that I have 37 messages in this application, which is the App Store. Same thing down here on this application called GroupMe. I have 6 notifications. There are 6 messages that I have not read or checked. And then over here, there's an application in this folder, and in that application there are 13 messages, or this could be a combined, okay, no, just 13 of one. If there were multiple in here, it'd give me a total out here. So that is what the Badge App Icon is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. Then you can also elect to have it ding when a message comes in. You can turn that on. And then you can view in locked screen, meaning this alert here, or whichever one you have set up, whether it's the banner or the large, you can have it view in locked screen. So if your screen has fallen asleep, you can have it view in locked screen. So I think I'll go ahead and leave that one set up there. Now, back in notifications, let's go back here. You can go to sounds. And this is kind of fun. During our iClass, this is where I take a little break. We go to sounds, and you can go through and play all of these neat sounds and kind of set them up. You can change your ringtone, your text tone, your new voicemail, or on your iPad. Again, the ringtones, text tone, new mail, sent mail, tweet, Facebook post, calendar alerts, and reminder alerts, and keyboard clicks. I personally like the keyboard clicks because I have an audio of when I correctly type a letter, so I can kind of hear it in the pace as I'm typing along. For me, that's helpful. Same thing on my phone. So you can go through those, pause the video and go through those and play with the sounds and vibrations, or set them up to your liking. Brightness and wallpaper. Now, I leave my brightness on auto. Right here, I just leave it on auto. But sometimes I do need to go in and adjust it. Like in the evening, I'll bring my iPad and I'll read in bed at night. And if my lovely wife is going to sleep, I'll go in here, and sometimes it won't be all the way down, and so I'll just need to drag it down to completely dim it. As you see, because it's on auto, it's actually working its way back up. So I would just turn auto off and then back down. Same thing over here. Okay. Your wallpaper, you can set it up here. And you see there are two because they have the lock screen and the wallpaper. I just do the same for both, but you would just touch this area on both devices. Actually, I need to go back and turn up my screen. There we go. On both devices. And then at this point, you can just scroll through all your photos, or you can go to the default wallpaper. And you can pick one of the presets they have for you. There we go. Nice scene of the beach. And that can be your wallpaper. And at that point, you would choose up here. I recommend just set both. And you set both, and then that'll be your wallpaper. And your wallpaper is the background right here. In fact, we'd be happy to give you our wallpaper absolutely free. Okay, back into settings. Privacy. This is a good one. You're going to want to go into privacy and take a look at location services. On here, you can turn most of these on, because what this means is which applications are you going to be using GPS for. You can kind of scroll up and down, and the one you want to be careful of is your maps. Now, it's good to have it on, and the arrow is here. So if your map is on, this will be purple, and you'll see the arrow, this arrow, you'll see it up at the top, meaning that it's on. If your arrow is constantly on your device up here in both, that is going to be draining, that is going to drain your battery. So, for example, I'm going to turn the map on, and what I will do is get directions. Actually, I don't need to do that. If you look, because my map is open, see that arrow right there? That means my GPS is on. Now that's okay if I'm using it, but you don't want that arrow on if you're not using it. So to double check and turn the arrows off, you'll see this is purple right now because I just had the map on. And it's still on up here, but then it shuts off. So what you want to do is come in here under privacy and take a look at which application is leaving your GPS on, if that's the case. Your camera, I recommend you turn that off so you're not geotagging your photos when you share them. It's technical to explain, but it's just safer to leave the camera off. So those are your location settings. And that's going to be it for today. So a quick review. We went over airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, hotspot, do not disturb, notifications. We went into general. You got to play with some sounds, and you adjusted the brightness and set the wallpaper for your device, and you also found how to get into your privacy settings. That's it for today, and like I said, we are Steve, that's me right there, and my amazing wife April Burnett. These videos are brought to you on behalf of our company, Burnett 1-800-Painting. Please consider Burnett 1-800-Painting the next time you need painting service. Have a great day.